Let's get together and do a thumbnail shot. Okay, cool. All right. Hi everyone. We are going to talk about a business plan today. I have got Rob Chiaroli with me today to talk to you about a one-page business plan.
Thanks, Beck.
So Rob, I'll just get you to quickly introduce yourself.
Sure. I'm Rob Chiaroli. The business that I've got is Grapes to Grange Business and Executive Coaching. So I help a lot of small business owners get clear on why they're in business, establish their processes and systems, and get the right people to support them. So particularly in small business, if you're on your own, can be quite lonely. So having a network of people to share the load, and I can facilitate that. That's what I do. I introduce people and share the pressure that they're under.
I have to admit, I've had Sketchmill for 8 years.
Yep.
And I haven't got a business,
business plan.
It's on my things to do
Yes.
list. What do you find the most challenging thing about getting small businesses to do a business plan?
Okay, firstly, I think the main reason a lot of business owners don't do it because they think it's a really tough thing to do.
Oh, yeah.
That it's hard to do, and they also associate it to the business plans that banks need.
Yes.
If you're looking for money, and so they've got this 100-page document that you need to fill out with all the detail. And the reality is that a business plan doesn't need to be that extensive. The other thing that a lot of business owners don't realise is that it's not the make or break of a business, but definitely if your business is going to fail, one of the main reasons it will fail is because you don't have a plan.
Yes.
And they have had some statistics. ASIC recently looked at stats, and I've known this for 30 years. I've seen this statistic that half of the businesses will fail within the first 3 years. 3 million businesses in the market, half of them will fail within the first 3 years.
Right, okay.
And ASIC have found that a third of them will fail within the first year.
Yeah.
Right?
And why?
Thanks for asking the question. So ASIC have asked that question as well. There are three main reasons that businesses will fail. Number one is lack of strategic planning.
Yes.
So when they don't have a plan in place, it's a 44% of failures are put down to lack of strategy or having a plan.
Yeah.
The other two reasons, one is not having cash flow, not having the capital behind yourself to actually build your business.
Yeah.
So having the idea, but then you haven't done enough understanding that you need some cash behind it. And the third one is that the business is not running profitably. So they're dropping their prices, they're trying to compete on price, and as a result they're unprofitable and the business fails in the end. So they're the main reasons. So they've identified, ASIC's identified that having a business plan or some sort of strategy, it's not a guarantee that you'll succeed, but it puts you on the right path.
Yeah.
So it's important to do that.
For people like myself who've got a creative business, planning a business plan is the last thing we want to do. So it's great that you've got this, I'll just show you, this one-page business plan, because it's pretty scary to sit down and think, I've got to write
how much do I have to do? And that's what I've tried to do. It's trying to take the scariness away from planning. That if you can identify that you can actually put your plan on one piece of paper.
Yes.
It might be a large piece of paper, but it's one piece.
Yes.
And depending on your business and how complex it is, it's going to be an A1 sheet of paper.
Yeah.
But you can put everything you need onto one page. And that's not to simplify it, because there's a lot of work that's involved in putting the right information. Because as I say to a lot of my clients, I say, if you don't do the detail, you don't do the market research, you don't understand your business, the market, and your own strengths and weaknesses, then what you put in the plan is not going to work for you. I describe it as the foundation for your business. So depending on how solid that foundation, you're either building a hut made of straw and sticks, or you're building a multi-storey building. You know, so it is the foundation of everything.
Of the business.
And so you put the information in there, summarise it on one page, which is fantastic, and then you refer to it and you update it. What a lot of people do is you go to all the effort, you spend, I don't know, 1 month, 2, 3 months putting a plan together, put it in a lovely little folder, you put it in your library, and then you don't look at it, and then you wonder, I wonder why my business hasn't worked as well.
Actually, I have done a business plan a long time ago.
Yep.
I mean, it did take a while to do a business plan, and then when I finished it, my business changed.
Yes.
And it's constantly changing because the whole overall idea is the same, but things are so fluid.
Yep.
And I think that's what scares myself and a lot of other people, is that things change.
That's what I highlight to all my clients. I tell them it's a living, breathing document.
Yeah.
It's not a once-off. You have to keep modifying it because the world does change.
No. And you don't know what you don't know, because as soon as you progress in your business, you find out, this works, this doesn't work, so I'll go in this direction and leave that direction.
Change the strategy, because you've had feedback, you've updated your plan. Yeah. As long as the foundation is solid, it gives you a better direction as to where to put your effort. And so a lot of that won't change if you've done your research right. Your ideal client, your unique selling proposition, what it is that you're really highlighting to the market, those things won't change. Your execution, things like the internet and Google, that changes every 3 to 6 months. They change algorithms. Now, if you're putting a strategy in place based on an Instagram algorithm or a Facebook algorithm, and then they change it, then your whole plan has gone by the wayside. So the Instagram and the Facebook should be execution parts, tactics parts. They're not the overall strategy.
That's correct.
It's telling you the strategy should be higher up. Where are you putting your money? Is it going to be internet? Is it relationship marketing? Is it networking? That's the business plan part of it. It actually brings it up a level. So you're actually looking at where you should be spending your time. The execution, they're the tactics, they're the action plan parts.
So when you're working with people, doing one of your courses about how to write a one-page business plan, what are some of the things you talk them through?
Okay, so what I've developed a little program. It's a 12-module program. So I give them a module at a time. So we work on, for example, a mission, vision and values. So I give them a written module, work through it, and then we get together one-on-one and we go through that, and I test the assumptions and how they've put it all together. And then we'll go through each of the 12 modules, and at the end of it you'll have this plan, and some of the areas are harder than others to do, like the unique selling proposition. What's unique about you, and that's one of the hardest parts.
Point of difference.
The point of difference, that's right. The writing a vision statement can be difficult. A lot of people confuse mission and vision statements.
So let's define what is a vision.
And that's just it. So in the end, it doesn't really matter as long as you're clear on what it is. So a mission is really what you're doing and how you're doing it. Your vision is your aspiration of where you want to be in the future.
So your mission statement is what you tell your customers and the world. And your vision statement is what you tell yourself.
That's it. It's what you tell yourself and people that work for you. It's sort of the aspirational aspect of business. So if you've got somebody working for you, you ask the question, is what you're doing achieving our vision? If it's not, well, stop doing it. Is this the reason I'm getting up early in the morning or working late at night? Is it working towards the vision? Absolutely. So, okay, keep on doing it. So it is. It's the thing that directs you. And I get a lot of my clients to actually print their vision statements on posters and put them up on walls. So it's the first thing they see, or on their car. So they've got their vision. So it's always an aspirational.
Like a storyboard.
We go through a SWOT analysis. That's usually the first task that we do. We do a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats. It's really the analysis of the individual and their business, which is your strengths and weaknesses. It's the internal part of the business. And the opportunities and threats are the external part. So it's the market, it's the competitors and so on. And again, that's the foundation. Once you've done that properly, and I usually, if we look at the business plan program that I have, and I say call it 12 weeks. Depending on the individual, it can be 12 hours, 12 weeks, or 12 months. So it depends on how much commitment they give to it. But assuming it's 12 weeks, which is a good figure, 3 weeks is just the SWOT analysis.
Yes, okay.
So by the time we go backwards and forwards, and you know, a lot of the issues that I have with small business owners is particularly around the strengths. You know, they're very easy to put down their strengths. You know, I'm really passionate.
Yes.
And that's the one word that I hate.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to business planning, I said, well, you wouldn't be in business if you're not passionate about it. So it's not a strength. A strength is only a strength if you can claim it over at least 80% of your competitors. So it's got to be, it's not about the qualifications. You know, if you're a qualified business coach, for example, it's an expectation. I mean, you expect people to be qualified. If you're a copywriter, you've got to have some copywriting credentials. So it's not a strength that you've got those, because all the other copywriters will have those credentials.
Absolutely.
So what is it? Is it the experience? Is it a particular niche? Is it somewhere else that you can claim an advantage? So you can see if you do that strength analysis, it leads you towards your point of difference. Because you can actually see where your key strengths are, so that's what you want to emphasise. So that's how I work through with the clients, and we go through that in a modular approach.
Wow. So I need to get myself a business plan.
That would be a good start.
After
8 years.
After 8 years. I've done all right.
The fact that you've done all right is a good
No, I
show.
have done, as I said, I have done a business plan, but it's changed and I haven't gone back to update it. And even with the SWOT analysis, in the early stages of starting my business, would have changed drastically. Because of the experience, and you have more knowledge on not only your business but your competitors, your price range, your market, your target audience, your point of difference.
That's right.
What would be your top tip you would give to a small business person?
But the top tip I would give would be to be really do a SWOT analysis. If you're going to do anything, do a SWOT analysis. Hopefully, people know what a SWOT analysis is. So strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats, because they're the clues. So when it comes to me helping people with their strategies, I match their strengths to the opportunities, and I look at their weaknesses and identify whether there are any threats there that will take advantage of the weaknesses. So for example, if you put a weakness that you don't have capital, you don't have access to funds, well, it's no point then deciding to put money into Google ads and so on that are going to churn through the market. You need to understand what your weaknesses are. So a SWOT analysis will give people the clues on what they need to do with their business and where to start with. So if anything, they do a SWOT analysis. The rest of it, mission and vision, they're nice words to have, and people push them along.
And they fluid too. They're changing as well, aren't they? Yeah. Well, I hope you found this video interesting and helpful. I will put all of Rob's details down below in the comment sections. Please subscribe and leave us a comment if you have any further questions, and we'll try and answer them as soon as we can. Thanks so much.
Thank you.